Just one stop remains on the road to the CrossFit Games, the semifinals. 3 events around the globe kick off the opening weekend of competition. All 3 champions continue their title defenses, while some familiar faces get back into the action. We'll preview the first week of semifinals next on Game Central. Hi everybody, welcome to another edition of Game Central presented by Noble, the official apparel sponsor of the CrossFit Games. Semifinals are here. Week number 1, we have 3 events that get started on May 20th down in Australia. It's the Torian Pro. In Europe, the CrossFit Lowlands Throwdown, the first of those 2 semifinals taking place on that continent, and the Syndicate Crown in North America. 5 qualifying spots up for grabs in Knoxville. CrossFit programmed 2 events for all the semifinals, so these will be seen at every competition. The first is the 1 legless rope climb and a 170-meter run. That one was from the 2014 regionals, event number 5. And then the second workout is a barbell complex. 3 cleans, 2 front squats, and 1 jerk. And again, athletes in every semifinal will go through those 2 events. And CrossFit also programmed 2 for the team competition, and they give the semifinals as much flexibility as possible when programming around them. The Torian Pro is the only semifinal going on in the Oceania continent. 3 spots are up for grabs for the men, the women, and the teams, and it takes place at Pat Rafter Arena in Brisbane, Australia. This will be the first time that Tia Toomey has competed in a CrossFit Games event in her home country since 2018, and it also marks the return to CrossFit Games competition for Ricky Garard, the first time we have seen him since the 2017 CrossFit Games. Jeremy Austin has more on the Oceania semifinal.
Thanks, Sean. And you know how excited us Aussies get? Well, we're taking it to the next level. Tia has touched down. She's in the country. We haven't seen a lot of her, but the anticipation around the country of Tia hitting the competition floor at the Torian Pro in a few days' time is off the charts. Excited to see her qualify as an Oceania representative once again, but she is in for some tough competition in a 3-day time frame. We got Ellie Turner, Cara Saunders, Maddie Sturt, and last year's big mover, Bailey Rogers from New Zealand, looking to cause a stir and grab one of those qualifying spots. Don't forget a young lady who has touched down as well from the UK, Jamie Simmonds. She is going to cause a stir as well. And after that shoulder injury took her out of last year, she could well make it back to the games. Another athlete that is going to be joining her on the competition floor after a bit of a spell is Ricky Garard after his 4-year ban. It's going to be an exciting competition for the men's side as well, with Baden Brown, Jay Crouch, James Newbury, Matt McLeod, and who misses out, we'll have to wait and see. Now, CrossFit Selwyn, they have come under the radar big time, and they have recruited very well. Maddie Schelling and Marnie Sykes jumping from 6'4" Army last year and going outside of the individual competition to jump in their team. The Fowler brothers make up the other side, but they have got stiff competition from our side, Urban, EXF, and Project Bayside Black. But my dark horse for the team competition is underway from Melbourne. Now, Selwyn will probably annihilate the competition, finishing 4th in the world after the quarterfinals. But I think we might see a brand new Oceania qualifier in every division at the Torian Pro this year.
Thank you, Jeremy. Meanwhile, over in Europe, the first of 2 semifinals that will be taking place on that continent. The Lowlands Throwdown will be held at the Ray Convention Center in Amsterdam. There are 5 qualifying spots on the line for the men, the women, and the teams. This will be the first time that we get to see Annie Thorisdottir's crew from CrossFit Reykjavik in a live competition, and the women's side absolutely loaded. Sara Sigmundsdottir, Gabriella McGowan, and Laurel Horvath. Here's Lauren Smith with a closer look at the Lowlands Throwdown.
Thanks, Sean. This weekend's CrossFit Lowlands semi-final is the first in-person games qualifying event we've had in Europe since 2020. So we are just so excited about getting everyone back together again on the competition floor, surrounded by fans. It's already going to be a great weekend, and I haven't even spoken about the stories yet. So, speaking of, Bjorn Carl Gudmundsson is back on the big stage and he's up against some seriously stiff European competition. I think the top of that list is Lazar Dukic, the 9th fittest on earth in 2021, but the 8x Games competitor is also going to be up against veterans like Adrian Mundweiler, the Functional Fitness Federation's world champion in Moritz Fiebig, and last year's 3rd place finisher from the Lowlands Throwdown, who then went on to the Games, Sam Stewart. So there is going to be some decent tactical competition over the course of the weekend. Over on the female side, I think we expect to see Gabby Magala continue her dominance, just establishing herself as one of the top competitors in the sport before she heads on to Madison, because I don't actually think her qualification is necessarily in question. Something would have to go very, very wrong. I spoke to her coach, John Singleton, in the week, and he said that a big focus of her year has been rope climbs, which sets her up perfectly for that opening event 1, which is a repeat of 2014's regional event 5, involving legless rope climbs and running. So she's in a really good position to start her weekend. The other big female story is the return of Sara Sigmundsdottir. She has come back from an ACL injury. The last time we saw her in person in competition was Wodapalooza, in which she withdrew. But supposedly rehab is going as well as it possibly could, and she's not too far off that pre-surgery PBs. So I think we can see the best of Sara over the course of this weekend. The Icelandic theme to this report continues, because the team you should be keeping an eye on is CrossFit Reykjavik. This is going to be the first time they appear on a competition floor as a 4 since they all joined together. It's been about 5 months, so that proximity is certainly paying off. And we'll find out exactly how much when we get to the Lowlands Throwdown. It's only a couple of days away. Can't wait to see what's going to happen. Back to you, Sean.
Thank you, Lauren. And finally, the first of 4 North American semifinals will take place in Knoxville, Tennessee at the Syndicate Crown. Justin Medeiros returns to live competition for the first time since winning the Rogue Invitational in October of 2021. And we will also see Rich Froning and CrossFit Mayhem Freedom as they continue their title defense. Tommy Marquez has a closer look at the Syndicate Crown.
Thanks, Sean. Plenty of storyline to be excited about in the first of back-to-back weekends of semifinal competition going down in Knoxville. We're starting with the men's division, and you have to lead with the champ, the reigning fittest man on earth, Justin Medeiros. In the last 2 seasons, we've watched him transform from Games hopeful to podium finisher to CrossFit Games champion. And will the Syndicate Crown be another step towards him reaching terminal velocity in the sport? His last defeat in live competition came at this stage last year. Can he continue his ascent to dominance and get the win this weekend? One man casually trying to prevent that is Scott Panchik. And despite shifting focus away from the sport in quote-unquote retirement, he's still fit enough to be in prime position to qualify for the games. And if he does, wouldn't that be a trip if somehow this shift in focus is the linchpin in him finding unprecedented success and a podium finally at the CrossFit Games? On the women's side, Haley Adams has racked up 3 consecutive finishes of 6th place or better at the CrossFit Games to start her career. At just 21 years old, the next step for her to take is onto the podium at the Games, but perhaps even sooner than that is the opportunity to actually win. Since the 2018 Games, when she was a teenage champion, she has yet to win a live competition as an individual in the CrossFit Games season. The Syndicate Crown is a great opportunity to step into the winner's circle and build momentum into Madison. And finally, in the team division, I mean, come on, is there really a bigger story than the Affiliate Cup champs CrossFit Mayhem Freedom taking the floor to qualify in week 1 in what is Rich Froning's final year? The team is going for their 4th consecutive Affiliate Cup, Rich's 6th, count it 6th team title, and his 10th CrossFit Games title across his entire career. And just to spice things up a little bit this year, they added a little north of the border flavor to the mixture, with Canada's Samuel Cournoyer joining the team as well. Tons of top tier storylines to watch this weekend at the Syndicate Crown, Sean, and I am just grateful that both of us get to be there in person calling the action.
Thank you so much, Tommy. Can't wait to watch these 3 semifinal competitions. And remember, you can watch all the action live on games.crossfit.com. The road to the 2022 Noble CrossFit Games is underway. You can head to www.nobleproject.com/CrossFit to shop the official training footwear and apparel of CrossFit, worn and tested by athletes across the world competing in the toughest workouts on earth. Get your gear for putting in the work today. And don't forget, the first 4 episodes of Miles to Madison are available now. You can go to the CrossFit Games YouTube channel to check out all of those. Thanks so much for joining us, everybody. Good luck to everyone competing at semifinals. I'm Sean Woodland, and we'll talk to you next time.